All right, welcome back to the Elias Macko Show. One father is speaking out with outrage over what he says is his child being unfairly banned from playing hockey. Believes his son is being used to force him to give his personal data away. Let's go now to Mike Leonardi. He's the father of the child that is now not able to play hockey. We've also got Elodie Meyer on the line, a cybersecurity lawyer, so we can get the legal aspects of this one. Mike, hello to you first. Hi, Mike.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. Why don't you tell our listeners, tell us the story here about your son and why this year he's on the sidelines not playing hockey.
So my son started practicing with Pierrefonds hockey this year in September. Last Saturday, just before the game, before that, I received a letter from Hockey Quebec and my Pierrefonds Association saying that for my son to continue playing hockey, I need to release my private information. What happened was I said, okay, I read it, and there are certain companies on that where I didn't understand who they were. So I asked for clarifications and said, well, I don't want to give my personal information just in case something happens. Let's say they give it to company A, B, or C. A or B gets hacked and so forth. My personal information gets hacked and sent out anyway. And so I explained to them, look, I don't want to give it. I can give it to Hockey Quebec, Hockey Canada, Minor Association. And they're looking for so much information, like, they're looking for my son's name, position, gender, demographics, mailing address, phone number, email, date of birth, and for myself also. Mm-hmm. Because he's a minor, I have to sign for him to release all that information. When I refused, they said, well, if you refuse to sign it, we're going to suspend your child from playing. What happened last Saturday, he went to the arena, and the administrator, the VP of Pierrefonds Association said, he can't play, period. Go home.
Okay. Huh. And again, just to reiterate here, your issue has to do with sharing data with like commercial parties, not necessarily Hockey Quebec or Hockey Canada.
No, exactly.
Uh-huh.
So they have commercial. They sent like almost a list of the commercial partners, right? Mm-hmm. And I asked, what they mean. Like, look, Minor Association of Quebec is fine. Mm-hmm. Then they said the provincial league. Okay, I Googled it, couldn't find it. They asked for this company called Sofrink, couldn't find it. I said to myself, okay, what are they collecting? According to them, the provincial league says the Quebec Student Sport Network of any line organized by Hockey Quebec as affiliated member, where I'm registered for 23-24 for the purpose of my membership as individual member and participation in their activities. Yes. Who are you?
Uh-huh.
You understand? They're not giving us who they are. Who are they giving this information to?
Mike, listen, I got to tell you something. I think a lot of us have faced this in life where you're handed a form and you got to sign here and you have to sign. And most of us would just sign to get it over with. So I value someone that's asking the right questions here. I want to bring Elodie Meyer, our lawyer that's in on this discussion as well. Elodie, welcome to the program.
Hi, Elias. Thank you for having me.
So, and by the way, Elodie, if there's a question that you want to ask Mike, you're a guest here, but feel free to ask a question in this segment too, because I want to make sure we have all the right info here. So, Elodie, what's your take on, the organizations like Hockey Quebec, like, minor league hockey organizations that want this data? Are they being too onerous? Are they asking for too much?
Yeah, so there are reasons to ask for some data points. A kid that's being registered for hockey, having his name and some minimal health information can be necessary, but that would be necessary for Hockey Canada or for the Pierrefonds team that he's playing for. It can't be necessary for commercial partners as well, and that's where there's kind of an issue here. The new Bill 25 says, it requires consent. Consent has to be clear, free, informed, and given for specific purposes. So already the people need to be informed, and the companies need to be transparent as to why they're collecting this information and what they're going to do with it. Now, there's also a very specific section in the law that says that a company is not allowed to refuse goods or services to a person solely on the fact that they refuse to give them some personal information, which would be the case here, and that is an issue. Now, there is one exception that would be if the information is absolutely necessary to render the services that are being asked. So I could hear that the the team in Pierrefonds would say, the health information of this player is absolutely necessary so that we can ensure, everyone's safety on the ice. Now, a commercial partner that would say, I absolutely need this information for marketing purposes, that doesn't work. That is not an exception that is acceptable under the law. And in doubt, it is the information is deemed non-necessary, and that means it's the company's burden to prove that it is actually necessary to collect that specific information and to process it or communicate it to a specific third party.
So, Elodie, I want to bring up the Bill 25, which you brought up here. Okay, so this is the element. This is what has changed, which has led to this situation. If you could just add more insight to our listeners about what Bill 25 did and why it was even brought about.
Yeah, absolutely. So Bill 25, the idea is to, better protect people's personal information and to, add some obligations onto companies to be more transparent with what they're doing with people's information, to safeguard it better and to, limit collection and use to actual legitimate purposes. It's a big subject right now because the last sections of the law came into force September 22nd, so just last month. And this is the bill that has forced companies to go get additional consent. Consent was always something that they were supposed to get, but it wasn't a very well-respected law before Bill 25 came in and added some teeth to the law, namely with sanctions. And this bill also gave more powers to the Commission d'accès à l'information du Québec, which is the body that oversees the application of this law. And that would maybe be the one question I had here would be, was the Commission d'accès à l'information informed of this situation? Was a complaint filed?
So Mike, let's talk about that. How far have you gone with your fight here, and maybe how far are you willing to go on this?
So far, I've contacted Hockey Quebec, of course, my M&A. I did call my Sikh legal counsel on this, and they did say I have a fight, but it cost me about $10,000, which I can't afford. I did send to the organization that they mentioned. They did send me a form to send it to some other organization. I contacted Hockey Canada. They have an independent organization that handles these complaints. They got back to me and said this is not part of their mandate. I've sent so many emails to different departments. I called the Consumer Protection. They told me what to do. Basically, send them Elodie Meyer, and then after that, basically, you can go to small claims court because they didn't follow protocol. So meaning, it's like when I signed a contract, this wasn't, they hadn't sent me the information yet. It's a breach of contract. So I can go after them for that. But that's not going to stop them from right now suspending my son. He hasn't been playing in a week, and he has a game tomorrow. And the only way for me to basically have him play is basically sign the papers and fight with them. Afterwards. I can't just penalize my son. Why are you penalizing my son? You understand? Quebec Hockey Association, the Quebec Hockey Association. They're there to protect our kids' rights, to help them, not to not make them play. We pay fees and dues for that. Why should he be penalized? I'm fighting for him and all the kids, basically. And some of the parents, I don't understand. They just, like you said, they just give up their rights.
Yeah.
And I don't have a problem. Like giving information to certain organizations, Hockey Canada, that's fine. Minor Hockey Association, absolutely. These are organizations. Maybe they need the information of my son, his birthday, because to play in the proper league, they have, from midget all the way down to
Mike, listen, I have to wrap up here. I just want to ask you quickly, how's your son doing? How's your son doing in all this?
He's angry. He basically says, Dad, I want to play, period. I have no choice here. When my hands are tied, either I penalize him or I don't. So I might have to just sign the papers and fight with him afterwards.
Mike, I want to thank you for coming on. Elodie, thank you so much for your insight as well. Really valuable on this whole discussion. So Mike and Elodie, thank you so much for coming on this morning.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's Mike Leonardi. That's the father of the child that's on the sidelines here as hockey season begins. And Elodie Meyer is a cybersecurity lawyer.